Hello and welcome to this special edition of SAT TV Week. Once again, the satellite industry has converged on Singapore for the 24th Communicasia and Broadcast Asia event, and has been demonstrating its commitment to the region with some important contract signings and exciting product launches. For many years now, the satellite industry has shown a certain resiliency to the global economic climate. Bridging the digital divide, will it ever happen, I hear you ask? Well, maybe at long last we're a step closer. But it all depends on the long-awaited launch of the first 4 satellites for O3b networks. With the launch scheduled for the 24th of June, the big project starts. On the first day of Communicasia, O3b Networks signed an important contract with a Malaysian service provider for ultra-high-speed 3G backhaul services. I asked Steve Collar about the significance of the contract.
I think it's really significant for Malaysia, and I was saying in the press conference, I think, Malaysia in some ways is kind of showing an example to the world as to how to accelerate broadband delivery into rural and remote areas, which is something that it's unarguable that there's a direct linkage between broadband penetration and economic development. And so if you want rural and remote areas to develop economically, you need to spur the development of broadband, and that needs vision, or one of the things that really helps is a strong vision from government, and the One Malaysian project is all about that. It's about how to sort of speed up the deployment of broadband into the rural and remote areas.
Launch of the first 4 satellites on the 24th. How nervous are you?
Yeah, not too nervous, just excited. It's something that we've been looking forward to for a while now, and we've been ready for a while now. So yeah, 5 days to go. We've got a lot of people coming, a lot of customers coming, and couldn't be more excited.
Now it's been a dream, and now it's going to become a reality. Mm-hmm. How is it going to deliver services to people in Asia?
Well, so you're exactly right. It has been a dream. It was something that Greg, our founder, thought of 6 years ago when he was trying to deploy services in Africa. And Africa has many of the same challenges as here in Asia. And so you have very, very well connected parts, and then you have parts that are very, very underserved. And so whether it be in the Cook Islands, whether it be in American Samoa, whether it be here in Malaysia, other parts of Asia, you've got large populations who are not well connected, and we can make a difference there.
Now, people talk about this digital divide, and I know people are expecting a lot of things from O3b, but there's also a lot of people saying it can't deliver. How do you respond to that?
Well, so I guess I'd respond in a couple of ways. One, no one has to wait very long to find out, right? So we really are now 5 days from our first launch. We'll launch our second set of satellites in September. In October, we'll be in kind of partial service, beta service. In November, we'll be fully live to customers, and customers around the world. We're global on day one, so wherever folks are, they'll be able to see the services deployed and working. But the other thing to say is it's not that complicated. That, like all good ideas, it's very, very simple. If you want to solve satellite latency, you bring the satellites closer to Earth. You don't have to deploy radically new technology. You just have to use that same technology in a different way and come at it more from the what are we trying to provide the end users? What are the challenges that the end users have? Rather than thinking about this in satellite terms, just think about it in network terms. What solutions do we need to deliver? And then how does the system need to look in order to deliver those services? And that's kind of what we've done.
Now, you'd almost sold 800 million of pre-contracts. At what point does the system break even?
Well, so it depends on your definition, but frankly, we're not too focused on an 8-satellite constellation or a 12-satellite constellation. We want this to be truly game-changing. Our chairman has a very clear ambition that O3b will be the largest satellite operator in the world, and we won't do that with 12 satellites. So more or less as soon as we have those 12 launched, we're going to be thinking about how we double the network and then double the network and then double the network. So in terms of break even, we're going to be investing in this company and in this network for a good many years to come.
Now, you've got quite a broad portfolio inside of O3b network with O3b Cell and so on. And you've got a low price format. How much of an advantage is that to you when you're selling these contracts?
It's an advantage to us, but it's also necessary. What we're about is growing the market for everyone. We're delivering services that don't exist today. We often say we either compete with everyone or no one, depending on how you look at things. And in many cases, no one thought about 350 megabits to a cruise ship before. No one could provide that kind of bandwidth, and yet we've got the two largest and most innovative cruise ships in the world will be using O3b in a few months' time. Similarly, if you look at the oil and gas operators, we've had tremendous success with our energy products, selling a combination of 15 megabits downlink, 5 megabits uplink, which is probably 2 or 3 times more bandwidth than any of them have today, but they can all use it. They're limited by the technology and the solutions rather than by the demand and what they actually need. And affordability is a key part of that, and it's certainly a key part in emerging markets. It's certainly a key part for mobile operators. If they want to roll voice and data services, 3G, 4G services further out into the network, they need that affordability. So it's not just about being low cost for low cost sake. It's about how do you get to a price point that enables these services to be delivered.
And finally, not talking about O3b now, but what is your perception as a satellite market as a whole? What are the challenges it's going to face going forward?
Yeah, I think the satellite industry needs to keep evolving. It needs to keep innovating. I think, we see ourselves as kind of innovating, but not for innovation's sake, to really try and grow the number of markets that satellite can be core to. I think we've not been core to mobile operators for a good long while. I think we've been used as a solution of last resort often, and I think that's because we've not been able to bring attractive products to the market often enough. I think the value proposition for broadcasters is reasonably clear. I think whenever you move then into data services, it becomes less clear, and we have to try harder to make that, to close that value proposition, and that's what we're trying to do.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you.